Hi, everyone. I'm just checking if I'm live. Hi, everyone. So I thought I'd just come on a bit early. So I'm just going to set it all up because Luke will be here in a moment. He's on another call with the clients at the moment. I hope you're all well. I'm just going to check my phone to make sure I'm actually live. So I'm going to tag everyone into the actual group. So if you've got any questions. So I know this is an anxiety group and, you know, anxiety, panic attacks, agoraphobia, but some people do drink a lot of alcohol as well. So this is why I wanted to invite different types of topics that may interest some of you, because if people are depressed, sometimes they do that as well. So I'm not saying that we're all alcoholics or anything like that, but sometimes it does get out of hand when people are using it to sleep or anything else. Okay, so Luke's going to sort of talk to us about that. So I'll tag her in to join us. So before we sort of get started, I thought just have a little chat, waiting for Luke to come. And if there's any questions anyone has or they wanted to ask me, because I've been reading some of the comments in the group, and so I thought we would bust some myths today. So see if Luke comes and helps us and gives us some ideas of what his views are. Obviously, we're both therapists and hypnotherapists. But we don't identify as hypnotherapists. I don't think we both do lots and lots of other things as well, lots of methods, brain movement, eye movement. We're both rapid change therapists. So the way that we work is completely different to like a regular hypnotherapist, because we do so many. We've been like fine-tuning our skills over the years, learning loads and loads and loads. We're always doing courses and learning amazing new things. Luke's always traveling, going somewhere, learning Huna and Hawaii things, and he was in Spain last week. So there's always something going on. So who's watching with me today? And then we're going to we're going to bust some myths. Hopefully Luke will come and then we'll just talk about that. So Christine is here. Hi, Christine. Hi, Steffi. Hi, Alexandra. Hope you're well. It's been a sunny day today. I've been inside. I've managed to sneak out a couple of times, but short little things. But hopefully the weekend I will. It's like summer, isn't it? It's good. So I'm just making sure you can all hear me. Let me just check if you can actually hear me as well. Can you just say you can hear me? Let me put my volume on. Oh, you can. Good. So, I'll start with the myths. If anyone believes anything weird about hypnosis, or they don't trust it, or they're scared. So somebody commented in the group last week, I think it was, that he was scared of hypnosis because a retired doctor had hypnotized him and he fell asleep and he wasn't able to wake up again. And he believed that's it. So hypnosis is not the same as sleep. You might have seen hypnotists. You see Luke in that video going sleep, and then people just go down. Boop. He could just touch you. So I just did a smack there. They don't really smack you, but they just go, boop, you're asleep, or you're asleep, or sleep. He does say to them, you will, someone's trying to call me. He goes, you will hear everything that I say. I'm going to just mute my mic now because someone's trying to call me on my voicemail. One sec. So basically, when a therapist or when a hypnotist on stage says sleep, they aren't asleep. Someone's just trying to call me. I don't want to take the call. So I'll try again. Okay, someone's trying to phone me on this. So when they say sleep, they aren't actually asleep. All it is that they can still hear everything. If they say, right, wide awake, or count to 3 or whatever, they can hear everything. So we should be able to hear any suggestions. For real therapy to happen, my clients talk back. So we don't need to do deep coma type therapy where we'd like people doing operations or tattoos. It's not like that. You can itch your nose, the doorbell rings, you can get up and go. It's just a light dreamy state. You are talking back in therapy, you are nodding your head, and I'm saying, think this, do this, do this. And in therapy, to make it go. If it was just someone relaxing you and saying things are floating and you're relaxed, you could listen to an audio for that. You could go to YouTube and get free ones. So you shouldn't really be paying any therapists to relax you. You might as well go for a massage or something, right? So sleep, hypnosis is not sleep. Some people say, I'm too anxious. I'm too anxious to be hypnotized. I'm too anxious. My mind's all over the place. I'm too anxious. So we could do it standing up. We could do it with music. We could do it pop music. It's not relaxation at all. I do relax mine a bit. I do something called progressive muscles. And in case they're holding, some people clench everything when they're stressed or they're scared of me or something, they clench everything. So I get them to unclench everything, let it go. And then we're going to do something else. We're going to deepen them. I do steps to deepen. But if you see Luke in that video, he's going and deeper and deeper and 10,000 times deeper or something he's doing. Put the gun or whatever he's doing. So we all deepen in different ways. Sometimes we do this lift your eyes open and close your eyes, open your eyes, close your eyes. Each time you open them and close them, you're going to go 1,000 times deeper or 10 times deeper. And you'll just go deeper and deeper until I flop about and then you can't do it. Okay. So it doesn't mean you're out of control. No one's controlling your mind. You're in control of your mind. The other thing about hypnosis is when people are anxious, of course they're going to be anxious. Everybody that sees me are anxious. So I don't expect you to be calm. You might even have a panic attack during the therapy or because you're seeing me or you're scared of me. So that's quite normal. That's how we work because we're used to it and we're not doing relaxation or anything. So nothing to worry about. You won't fall asleep. It doesn't matter if you sleep. You won't have a trouble waking up. If you did fall asleep and snore or anything like that, if someone was here, I'd literally just kick their foot or touch their foot, or I say their name really loud. And if you can hear me, nod your head. If you can hear me, raise your finger. If they're asleep, they won't be able to do that. So they just relax. Sometimes people's breathings go funny as well when they're nice and relaxed or they're doing hypnosis, but it means they can still hear me. They can raise their finger, they put it down, they can raise their hand, they can lift their hand and keep it there. Okay, is there any questions? Let me just see. I just wanted to bust those myths. Who else is here? Christine says it's been gorgeous weather. It has. Christine loves hypnosis. Hi, Julie. Hi, Alex. Oh, so Alex says she gets scared of me. I know, I'm really scary. Luke's even more scary than me. You wait till Luke comes on here. So Luke's a really good friend of mine. He's from Canada. Anyway, I'll just tell you about my voice, first of all. I spoke, so because I have to speak in a low tone. It's not a spooky hypno voice, but I did 7 hours non-stop speaking yesterday. Client, bang, 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 client after client after client. Some of them are new, like 1.5 hour sessions. So it's like, I did 7 hours of speaking with only a few little breaks in between, sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. Usually it's the 30-minute break, but for some reason I had to fit them all in and I couldn't speak at the end of it. So now I've got a croak. I've been eating cough sweets today. So I don't want to be like frog voice. So let me just tell you about Luke. So Luke is from Canada. He's a Brit, lives in Canada. I think he lived in Ottawa and Toronto. He had offices in both. He's been a hypnotherapist for a really long time. And we are unlikely friends because obviously he's over there. But a lot of therapists become friends on Facebook and we join forums and groups and we chat about things. We ask each other things and we help each other with things. But Luke is a good friend because we do have these little Zoom powwows or whatever they're called. They're just like brainstorming. We help each other. What are you learning today? Why did you go to Hawaii? Or why did you go and learn Huna or whatever he's doing? We just want to learn different things and we help each other and teach each other things. And if it's something we want to do, then we're like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn about that. So we're both the type of therapists that are interested in rapid change, we both do something called rapid change. We change people's brain states really, really fast. We aren't here for 20, 30 weeks with people. We're literally just going to change you. So that's what we do. So we work very, very similar. We are doing eye movement, different things, NLP. We mix and match all the different methods into our thing to change people's states, addictions, things like that. I've done addiction a long time ago. I don't do it anymore. I've done gambling and things like that, sex addiction, porn addiction. But I don't do that anymore. I just did it because people came, but I only treat the trauma. What's going on? Did someone die? Did this happen? Or whatever. When I treat those, then the need for the addiction used to go away. So when someone comes to gambling, I'm like, well, I don't know anything about gambling, but I'll treat whatever's happened. So that's the way that we work. And I'm sure Luke will tell you if he comes. He's still not joining. So I'm sure Luke will tell you. So we aren't the type of therapist to say your drink smells like vomit, your drink or your cigarette smells like dog poo. We don't do that because it's not going to make it go away, right? You might like dogs. Yeah, so we don't do that. We deal with the cause of it, both of us. We're not sticking plasters and bandages on any type of therapy we do. So one of the things about therapy is a lot of therapists are trying to calm you down or get you outside or make you drive and do exposure and all of this. We don't do that. We're going to treat the reason why. Did somebody die? Did something frighten you? Were you trapped? Let's deal with the thing that happened. And then when we deal with this, relationship breakup, whatever it is, then people get better really, really fast. And then we're going to deal with any phobias or fears or drinking habits or eating habits or not eating or whatever they're doing. So, but we're never going to say, I'm sure, I don't know what he does, but I'm sure he's not going to say your drink smells like tea or something. He's not going to say that. It's not going to make imagine if he said your beer tastes like a cup of tea. It's not going to work, right? So that's not going to work. It's about the reason behind it, the mindset behind it that causes you to want to do these things, the urges to do it, and what it gives you. What does it give you? Yeah, does it relax you? Are you doing it to hide away? You using it to blot out reality? Pain? Are you punishing yourself? Are you lonely? Are you bored? You know, people do the same with food as well. Comfort eat. You know, if they feel overweight, they might just eat even more. Oh, well, I'll just carry on eating more then. Okay. And it's usually loneliness, boredom, or sometimes grief as well that makes people eat or drink too much. Loneliness, relationship breakup, that sort of thing. Let's see. Richard is here. Hi, Richard. Hi, Nancy. We're still waiting for Luke to join us. So what it is, Luke's got a client at the moment, so I'm just waiting for him to finish and he's going to jump on. Just make sure he's not messaging me. No, he'll be here soon. Has anyone got any questions of anything? Hi, Maria. Alex, why are you scared of me? You know, when we first meet someone, they are petrified of seeing you. They think I'm going to take control, or what am I going to do to them? Or, you know, I'm not scary, but is it about losing control? Is it about wondering what I'm going to make them do? Or is it going to be like, because counseling is scary. I think that's more scary because you've got to talk about all your problems. You forgot to send the Zoom link. He said, I did. Luke is above. He's saying I forgot to send the Zoom link. He's got it. It's coming. Oh yeah. So I'll just quickly say, Luke is more scary. He's covered in tattoos and piercings and pumps his fists like this. But we are good friends. It's because we have the same sort of get it done. Just get it done. Make it go. It's no messing about with us. We're just really practical. Just get it out. We're not wishy-washy therapists. That's why it's called rapid change. and we transform people. So that's basically what it is. So Luke is coming. Oh yeah. So the other thing about Luke is I'm a quiet therapist. He's a showman. You see it. He's out in the street and everything, you know, putting people on the ground and things. I don't do that. I just like to be here with my cats. He's come. Where is he? Has anyone got any questions? Oh, Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Does anyone on the call drink more than they want to? My hand is up. Oh, Luke is here. Let's go. We're going to do these questions in a minute. Where are we? He's coming. We're going to answer these questions in a minute. Maybe Luke will tell you. Oh, no. Don't get worried about seeing me. You're muted, Luke. Can't see your camera.
And they're both are off. What the hell?
Can't see your camera.
Shit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we just heard you swear.
There you go. Well, that's
it's censored. No kids allowed on here.
Okay, that's good. I don't know why my camera's
Oh,
there
we go.
Hello. How are you doing? What do you want to talk about?
So we're live at the moment in the group. So I don't know if you can see, we're both live in the group now. So if you join the group on your phone.
On my phone as well. Okay.
Right. Then you'll be able to see the comments that people are asking questions and things at the moment, and put it on silent on your phone. So you'll be able to just read it without it hearing double.
I got you. All right. Yes, I can see myself. All right. It's still good.
So we're live. I was just talking about, can we just bust a couple of myths before we start? So because I've given them my view about it, can you tell me a little bit about your view? Like, are people asleep when they're in hypnosis? Because someone in the group said they fell asleep because somebody hypnotized them and they fell asleep and they didn't wake up and they're petrified of being asleep. But we don't make people sleep, do we? It's not a sleep session, is it?
No, so let me talk to you. There's a couple of different versions of a hypnosis. If I'm doing street hypnosis for shits and giggles, and I go on a street with someone and I drop them to the ground with love and respect, and I tell them that they are glued and they cannot get off the ground, even if I offer them up to $1,000, my girlfriend's Tiffany ring and an iPhone 14, their experience will be they cannot get off the ground. They are stuck and there was no glue. If someone hypnotizes me, my experience is my eyes are closed. I can hear the wind outside. I know my cat, Mr. B, is in the other room. I can feel my hand on my lap. I know at any moment I can open my eyes. But for that moment, I just don't care about all that other business because I'm just focused on whatever I'm having the hypnosis for. So it can be anyone, it can be any one of those extremes or anything in between versus my eyes are closed. Someone is saying warm and touchy, earthy, crunchy things to me versus, holy shit, my hand is stuck to my face and I can't move it. Everyone experiences trance differently. There's no right or wrong way. It's just, are you getting the results that you want?
And what would happen if someone fell asleep and snored in your chair? You wake them up, right? You go.
I do that really loud. I get some water and throw it on their head. No.
Yeah, I kick them a little bit. I kick their shoe or shout their name out a little bit, and I say, "Nod your head."
It's a bit hard to do on Zoom to throw water on people. However, no, I'll tell you one thing. True story. I was doing hypnosis for someone years ago in my office when I used to do it in person, and the guy was fucking snoring. I mean, he was fast asleep. I swear he was snoring. And I was just about to do something to jolt him out. And a part of me said, what if it was a really deep trance and I'm about to ruin the session if I bring him out of the deep trance? So I just remembered something from one of my mentors. And I just said, and if you can hear me, raise up his left hand. Left hand went up, left hand went down. So I honestly thought he was sleeping, but he wasn't. He was just in such a deep trance that he was snoring, but his unconscious was getting everything. So that's what I would do. And
yeah, I do that.
Yeah, and that you weren't asleep. So
Yeah, if
that's
they can't
rather
lift
than
their
doing the
hand,
trance.
yeah, if they can't lift their hand and they carry on snoring, then we know they're asleep. So we're going to start talking loudly then, aren't we? And calling their name and stuff like that. So the other thing was to make change. So we're both into rapid change. So we make change happen. You're not gonna tell them that their beer smells like dog poo, are you?
Not unless they didn't pay me on time or they were a real dick. No, the stuff that you see for stage shows or Vegas, it's all fun. And sometimes if I'm at an expo and I've got a little booth there, people, it's not appropriate, and people don't want me to do therapeutic change of getting rid of PTSD while there's an audience. So when I have my little booth at an expo, I'll do street hypnosis, the kind of stuff that you would see on stage. It's all safe, but I might get them to forget their name. I might get them, as I said, glue their hand to the table. I might make myself invisible. And I do this not just for entertainment, but I do this to show them if they could stick their hand to their face with just words, maybe they could stick this resolution of losing weight in their life. If I can invisible myself in front of them, maybe they can invisible that person who broke their heart so they never see him anymore. So I tie all of these cool little phenomenons that we call it in hypnosis, these skits, to something more deep and meaningful. And they're like, holy shit, if I can if he can make himself invisible in front of me, then maybe he can help me to make that ex-lover who's no longer wants anything to do with me invisible, so it doesn't hurt me anymore. So those little things can be useful, and sometimes I'll bring them into session, but not just for entertainment purposes, to tie it into the bigger problem, the bigger picture of why they're there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So the other thing is that you're skilled in lots and lots of things. You've been a hypnotherapist for a really, really long time. How many years?
25.
25 years. So Luke has been a therapist, but he does lots of things, not just hypnosis. So he's skilled, multi-skilled, rapid change specialist in lots of things, but he's chosen to specialize in binge drinking. So he's an expert in addiction and binge drinking, but he's an expert in lots of things. But this is what he is. I know how to treat lots of things, but I choose to do this. So I'm going to hide my screen now, and I'm going to let you talk. So can you see some of the questions on the group and answer those as well? Because Roz is saying
Absolutely.
she's swearing like a trooper. Can you see the questions?
I can see. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so I'm going to hide myself. Let's see, make sure that I can hide and put it on speaker. Okay. Oh, I'm still here. Let me just hide myself. Cool. Off you go.
Lovely. So, yeah, I've been doing this for 25 years now. And what I really specialize is working with professional, successful women between 27 and 57 who binge drink and they want to quit rapidly, easily, within 3 weeks. Do I work with men as well? Oh, for sure I do. But sometimes we need to choose a niche, all right, an audience for people to work with. Typically when I work with people, they've done all the other stuff. They've done all the other business. They've gone to rehab, they've gone to counseling, they've gone to psychotherapy. And for whatever reason, it hasn't worked for them, and they still are stuck, hence why they reach out to me for some help. And the way I kind of work with people is I work on, I know Wahida does this as well, I work not just on one level or one channel, I work on a mental level, a neurological level, about what's going on in their brain, what's going on in their amygdala. But I also work on an emotional level, what's going on in their mind, what are the emotions that are going on around binge drinking, semantically, in their body feeling, what kind of physical sensations are going on in their body when they're binge drinking or over drinking, and even, scary word, even a spiritual level, whatever the hell spirituality means to you. So my job is to replace about 4 different people: the counselor, psychotherapist, the hypnotist, and the shaman. It's to essentially do all of those things to help you get the biggest change. Now, typically, and I didn't choose this niche, it chose me. I just realized that a specific type of woman was seeking me out. Sounds like a dating thing, but it's not. But it was professional women that were very successful. And they were between 27 and 57. And they had all their ducks in a line. They were in good health. They had a good marriage, good mother, good job, usually were making like six figures out there. And to the rest of the world, they really had their shit together. However, when they got home each night about 6 p.m., they'd have this demarcation point between work and being at home where they would binge drink. And the definition of binge drinking for a woman specifically, and I don't make this up, you can research this, is more than 4 drinks in a 2-hour period. All right. And I don't mean drinks like this, I mean drinks like this. That is a definition of a binge drinker. And if you drink more as a female, I believe it's more than 8 drinks in a whole week setting, then you're a binge drinker. So a lot of these women would not identify as being alcoholics. And in fact, I share this story in some videos that I've made. I had one client and she just would overdrink. And I told her that she was a binge drinker. And after our first session, she messaged me and she was really upset. She's like, Luke, when I was in hypnosis, I remember you keep talking about me being binge drinking. I'm not a binge drinker. How dare you in the future never call me a binge drinker anymore? Oh, I'm very upset about it. So I went online and I looked at the definition of binge drinker, and it's exactly what she said. And I just cut and pasted it to her. And she never complained about me calling her a binge drinker again after that. So sometimes it's about noticing what you are. And although I'm not a big fan of labels, sometimes you've got to know where you are in order to get where you want to go. So the 2 most important things about any journey, any shift or any change is knowing where you are today. Oh, you know what? I'm binge drinking. I'm out of control. I feel like shit, whatever it is. But you also need to know where you want to go. Well, I want to get to a period where I can be stressed. I can feel anxiety. I can have sadness. These are all normal feelings. However, I don't need to binge drink in order to alleviate the discomfort of over drinking. So that's kind of really how I work with people, and I use these elements of hypnosis, and I'll say hypnosis, and you might see me looking down from time to time. It's just because I'm looking at your comments, how to answer any of your questions. But I'm using different skills. It depends on the client I've got. Some clients, they might want me to talk about the neuroscience on what's going on in their brain and their amygdala, a fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and how that relates to them over drinking. In which case, I'll do that with those clients. Some clients really want to talk about the emotion, the mind, the emotion they're going through, the anxiety, the worry, and the overwhelm are the qualities that I see of the binge drinker when they come and see me. And we do a lot more work over that. Some people just don't have the label for it, don't want to talk about the neuroscience, the dryness of it, but they've got this sensation, this hollowness, this heaviness, this feeling in their body that they need to relieve. And we do work around that. And for some people, really special people, we have to contact their higher self to come in and literally do exorcism to release those negativity that's going on in their brain. And for some of you, you might totally get that. For some of you, you might be like, holy shit, it's whatever my client brings to me. That's the model of the world that we're working with to get rid of this. And whereas like a lot of my clients have gone to multiple rehabs, and I think the average rehab here in North America is anywhere from 50 to 100 grand for a low level rehab. And they've gone on multiple rehabs. It's like a country club. They go there. It's like a little vacation for a week or 2. They have all their meals provided, nice social circle. People are listening to them. But as soon as they leave the rehab, what do? They start drinking again because it hasn't dealt with stuff on a root cause level. Now, when I work with people, we'll work on a root cause level, but that doesn't mean we have to dig up all the dead bodies and find out who did this and who did that, because your unconscious might know that, but never needs to let you know what it is consciously, but get into a process of helping you release this shit, technical words, so it no longer bothers you anymore. And when I'm working with people over binge drinking, I don't really see them for more than 3 weeks. Or 3 sessions. We usually space about a week in between. As I always tell my clients, there's 2 kinds of shifts. There's a shift of when you come into the session and you feel sad, anxious, overwhelmed, and we get the metrics on that. Like, oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed, Luke. Beginning of the session. All right, on the scale of 0 to 10, how overwhelmed do you feel? It's a fucking 10. When we're done at the session, it's a 0 at the end. That's beautiful. That's called a state change. It's a bit easy to do, to be honest. Almost anyone can have that shift. For me, the big shift is what happens between the clients between session 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. When they go out and they interface in the real world around all their old triggers, so they can come back for session 2 and say, Luke, oh, it was amazing here. It was amazing here. I wasn't binge drinking here. Oh, life is so good. This is amazing. But this one area here, when this particular program comes on, when I hear this music at 9 p.m. every single night, when there's this specific trigger, no matter what I do, I still overindulge. So they come back with that reality report. So the next session will shine a torch of personal change into that area to help to heal that, release it, nuke it, once and for all. That's kind of how I work with people. And again, I'm a big believer when people have found me, they've already suffered long enough. And the worst, most unethical thing that I could do is drag out that pain or suffering any longer. So I always tell people, I'm not here to be your hired friend. The most respectful, wonderful thing a client could say to me is when we've done our work in a maximum of 3 sessions, fuck, Luke, I hope I never see you again, with the biggest shit-eating smile on their face, to which I say, fuck, I hope I never see you again either. But periodically, once a year, give me an email telling me how magnificent your life is, please, and send your friends and family to me. That's the biggest compliment. I don't make money on people staying broken or unhealed. How I make a living and why I chose to do this is I want to do it rapidly and long lasting forever with people. And as 25 years, close to 10,000 clients, not all on binge drinking, over every problem you can imagine, and some problems you never want to fucking imagine, I see patterns that come up with people, no matter how differently that we are, that once they're released, their problem goes away. Oftentimes when I work with women over binge drinking, we don't even talk about binge drinking other than the screening call, which is a 3 hour with me that I ask you a bunch of questions to find out if we're going to jive well and vibe well, and a questionnaire they've filled out. Other than that, essentially work. Sometimes we never talk about binge drinking. And they're like, fucking hell, is this working? Does he know why I'm here? Then we get to the end of our work and they realize I haven't been binge drink. That's easy for me to say. In 3 weeks now, and they know that they'll never do it again because we've uninstalled all of the old malware software in their brain that was infected by Trojans, and we've installed new software, new programs, new beliefs, new emotions in their brain of having the life that they want to going forward. And like I say, I have a combination of hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming and timeline therapy and Huna and shamanism and a whole bunch of other stuff that I just get a gut feeling of when someone's in front of me, what I need to do. I'm not married to one concept of we have to hypnotize everyone. Some people don't want to be hypnotized, so we'll go another route. Last time I counted, I had 297 different techniques. If one doesn't work, guess what? Next. That doesn't work, next. I'm not married to any one technique. I'm just married to change and help and deliver it to you if you're ready to allow yourself to heal. That's how it works. Oh, you need to unmute yourself. It's your turn now.
Oh, yeah. So quickly, I just want to ask some questions. Sorry.
Yes, that's all right.
So they're asking if they need to be in deep trance for it, because someone say, oh, I want deep trance, but we don't. We could do it with eyes open if we want to, and just
the definition of hypnosis just could be someone telling you stories, and at the end of it, you're like, my eyes weren't closed, but I don't want to do that problem anymore. So there's no correlation between how deep. I've had clients that were in so deep a trance they were snoring, drool was coming out of their mouth, and nothing shifted for them. I had clients that I swear were just playing along, that they were just like listening to me, and they could open their eyes at any point and be in the room, and they got huge shifts. So being hypnotizable isn't necessarily the number one thing I look for when working with someone is are they coachable? I don't care about depth of trance. Are they coachable? And do they follow simple instructions? If someone's coachable and can follow simple instructions, I can get amazing results. If someone's deeply hypnotizable, but they're really dumb, or they can't follow simple instructions, it's bloody hard work.
And deep trance, we're using like for things like teeth, aren't we? Pulling wisdom teeth out without operations or doing tattoos and things. We don't need it for change work, do we?
Yeah, and you don't even need it for that. For some people that were getting tattooed that I worked with in really uncomfortable places, like the lat side of your torso or the foot, really uncomfortable. And I would just teach them a technique of relaxing their tongue, having a bunch of saliva on their tongue, and they'd feel no pain. They weren't in deep trance. They could see the whole room. They weren't blissed out. I just showed them how to neurologically run their brain. There's the prop again.
These are myths. They're myths.
Yeah, it's a myth. It's nice, it's mystical, and it has its benefits, but you don't need it to get shifts and change. And you can have deep trance and things don't shift. And you can have deep trance and everything shifts. You can have light trance and nothing shifts. You can have light trance and everything shifts. So it doesn't really matter. It's about who I'm working with and what they need for them personally to get the shifts in their world.
Okay, we got some questions now. Do you want to have a look?
Yes, sure. Yes, we've got Margaret here. Says, yes, I've experienced hypnotherapy that was only focusing on relaxation for 3 sessions. Yeah, we hear that a lot. They do some relaxation hypnosis on you. Lovely feeling at the end, but you usually have your fucking problem still. It was waiting for something more, and I stopped after the 3rd time because that's what I was not paying for. Yeah, guess what? Some of my clients don't like me. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. I just care that they get the shift that they want. I'm not in the business of relaxing you. If you want to get relaxed, go to a good masseur, all right? Go to a good reflexologist. Close your eyes and do some meditation. Hypnosis is not supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to be about specifically getting you the result you want, whether that's quitting binge drinking, stopping smoking, stopping anxiety in yourself, stop depressing yourself, or stop having that chronic pain, rather than the worst thing is a hypnotist is someone says to me, oh yeah, I felt really relaxed. That means nothing shifted. So I'd rather someone be like, oh, I wasn't relaxed at all. I ain't grinding my teeth anymore.
We both see people, don't we, that have had they've had hypnotherapy and say, oh, I've had hypnotherapy before, that doesn't work for me. And then we find out that they've been relaxing or they've had a whole year of hypnotherapy. Would you know what to do with someone for a whole year of hypnotherapy? Because they're obviously just doing relaxation, aren't they? Nothing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're trying to take your money, and you might think, oh, $50 a session, that's not a lot, but over a year, once a week, that's about $5,000. That's a lot of money for someone just to get you to close your eyes and say nice things. Most hypnotists, what they do is they'll do a weekend course on hypnosis, and then they'll come and they'll be all very excited, and they'll charge you $50, and you're like, oh, $50, I've got nothing to lose here. And as soon as you close your eyes, they pull out the paperwork and they go to the part of the paper, or they go to their manual, and it's alphabeticalized, and they go, oh, A for anxiety. Your eyes are closed, so you don't see this shit. And then they read a bedtime story script on anxiety to try and help you. Guess what? That shit works for about 10% of people. It's still more effective than counseling or psychotherapy for most people. However, do you think that's going to work with a soldier that comes back from a war, that's seen his best friend's head literally explode in front of him? And do you want to go to someone who's only had a weekend course if you got that kind of deep trauma in you? No, but there are a lot of people out there, and these are typically the people that, because they're charging you such a low fee of like $50 an hour, they'll just keep you coming in. And you look back at it, you could do that all for free. Just go on YouTube and listen to a recording. It's the same thing. It's like mental masturbation. It's not going to work 90% of the time for you. That's right. It's just people like, oh, let me just read these scripts. So yeah, for me, it's like, I don't have scripts. You're my script. You're in front of me, and if my head is here,
same, because we work on their issues, so we don't know what we have until we get them in front of us, and we're going to deal with whatever's happened. So yeah, there's no script for that, is there?
There's no script, and equally, sometimes we'll be going down this road, and suddenly we'll end up here, and this road seemingly, consciously, logically has nothing to do with why they're there. However, when this is let go, healed, everything changes.
Yeah.
But if I were doing it logically with the script didn't know that this person was going to have this reaction. And I saw that moment of when they twitched or had an involuntary movement. And I realized, oh, there's something there. Like Columbo, let's investigate that area a little bit to help them release it. Yeah. So it's like the better you get, the more you're working with the person in front of you. So if I work with 10 women, they were all 47, they were all making 100,000 plus a year, and they were all lawyers, and they were all binge drinking, I'd have to deal with all 10 women differently because they've got 10 different traumas, 10 different sets of beliefs inside their head to why they do it. But I couldn't treat them all the same. I'd all have to treat them differently because they're all individuals. And I'm a big believer in that my client unconsciously is going to show me exactly what I need to do in order to help them. But again, if my head is looking at my tablet, I'm missing them.
So
I'm
is your
watching
belief,
the whole time.
sorry, is your belief, Luke, that people are binge drinking because they've got a trauma or something underlying? Because that's what
Yeah, my experience are working with many people. There's overwhelm, there's stress, there's unresolved things. They may have not made the connection and they're trying to numb themselves from feeling certain things, whether they want to admit it or not. Typically high level, the women, and perfectionists. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so used to looking after and loving people and seemingly being in control of my whole area of life. But there's this dirty little secret that I'm not really in control of anything. And when I get home, I go to shit. So I drink in order to not face those feelings of overwhelm, being a bad mother, a bad wife, or whatever. And rather than face it, because it's scary, right? Especially if you don't have the right tools, you numb yourself to feeling all of that, but also the good feelings by over drinking. And they just stay on that vicious cycle. And they can't tell anyone about it because everyone's put them on a pedestal of being highly successful. They can't show weakness. Got a whole family to run.
there's something else that you mentioned as well, that binge drinking was 8 drinks a week, 8 measures a week. So this is shocking to me because I know lots of women and lots of people that just have a couple of drinks with their dinner every night. If they have 2 or 3 or even more with their dinner, then that's loads a week, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And typically, and when people show me like the drinking size is like that big, but when they show me what they consider a drink, it's double what the drinking size is. So 2 of their drinks actually brings them to double the amount. So it takes them to 4 drinks in a 2-hour period, which is the definition for a woman. Men's a little bit more wiggle room, but a woman being a binge drinker. So some women don't even realize it until it's too late. They're like, oh shit, now I've got a problem.
Mm-hmm. Let's do another couple of questions because
Yes.
some people are asking about their own patterns of drinking and they want to ask you some things. Do you want to check?
Absolutely.
Julie.
All right, so go ahead. Julie, I had hypnosis today and I was not relaxed at all. My knees were shaking. All right, Julie, question 2. Did you feel that your issue was resolved? In which case, that was great hypnosis. Do you feel that your issue wasn't resolved at all? In which case, that perhaps wasn't great hypnosis.
People twitch sometimes, don't they? They do shake or tremble, they twitch or anything.
Oh, I have this running joke with my girlfriend. If I don't make at least one woman cry before 12 noon every day, I have to make her cry. Crying or lacrimacy from the eyes is a great sense of trance. So it may not be someone's balling up or having an emotional reaction, but they open their eyes after trance. And almost every woman I work with will have the tissue. And they might not have overtly been crying, but there's a lot of discharge of water, which is a good sign of trance.
No, but when some people tremble and shake, though, that's a sign of abreaction, that they're having a reaction, aren't they? That's like dealing with stuff, don't you think?
It could definitely be what we call an unconscious moment, i.e., they're like this, and I'm making this up. And then suddenly something happens, and they're like this. It's like, oh, something just happened inside, consciously or unconsciously. Let's explore that a little bit. But I don't see anything as right or wrong. It's like, oh, they were like this, and now something shifted. Let's investigate whatever just happened, because that knot, if you will, has something to do with the greater picture. So oftentimes I'll do, in a session with someone, I'll do like 10 different change works are going on in the session, because lots of little knots, beliefs, emotions are coming up that they didn't even feel were related to binge drinking. But it's just another knot that comes up that we undo. And then another knot will come up until eventually there are no more knots and there's no more string and the problem's gone.
That takes us back to the thing that hypnosis isn't relaxation. So if someone's trembling and shaking during their session, it's because we're dealing with shit, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, it's a bit like, I do mixed martial arts, and it's a bit like trying to get good at it without getting hit in the face or choked out. No, you're going to get metaphorically. I can't hit anyone over Zoom. You're going to get metaphorically maybe hit in the face or choked out. This is uncomfortable stuff. People come to me, not generally because their life is amazing. they're typically coming to us because there's some shit going on that needs to be
Yeah.
resolved. It's uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, and if we're dealing with a real bad trauma, a horrible event in your life, you're not going to be relaxed like you're having a spa. You're going to be
Yeah,
upset, or you're going to shake a little bit, or tear might come out, right?
absolutely. Amy has written a question, and her question is, well, then I feel I'm not coachable. So would like to explore different avenues, like you say, not married to one technique. Well, everyone's coachable. Coachable is just a decision you make. Is if I say close your eyes, you could decide to close your eyes, or you can decide to just keep looking like a crazy maniac. In which case, I'd say, well, why are you not closing your eyes? Because you can do it. So coachability is something. It's not like we're coaching you to do a complex thing like a mixed martial art or Brazilian jiu-jitsu or algebra. Coachability is like, hey, close your eyes, and you close your eyes. And if I ask you to close your eyes and you're just like, oh, is he going to make me close my eyes? I'll poke you in the eyes. No, again, I can't do that over Zoom. But that's what I mean by coachables. Can you just follow simple instructions? Like I have clients from 5 up to 75. And it's if you can follow simple instructions, that's what I mean about coachability. You could, and the only reason you wouldn't be coachable, in all honesty and respect, is you are mentally retarded, or you're deliberately trying to sabotage
No,
your
they
process.
sometimes no, but sometimes they want us to fix them, and they won't take accountability for their
Yeah, and what I often tell my clients is it's great for my ego to think I'm fixing everyone, but I tell my clients is I say, hey, listen, I can't fix you. How could I fix you? We're over Zoom. I'm not even in the same room as you. And you can't fix yourself, because if you could have fixed yourself, we wouldn't be on this session now, true or false? To which they say yes. So I say, so there's no pressure on me to try and fix you, because I can't, even though I've helped about 10,000 people the last 25 years. And there's no pressure on you to try and fix yourself, because you know that you can't. So there's no pressure on you and I, because what I'm going to do today is have a chat with your unconscious, your subconscious mind, to find out what's going on so it can help to heal you, because it's going to be your unconscious and or your higher self that's going to heal and fix you, not me, and not yourself logically or consciously. And oftentimes when people hear that, it's like, oh, I don't have to try so hard. No, there's no trying in this. There's no trying to make it happen. It's just get out of your own fucking way.
Okay. Margaret's saying, when I feel the depression creep, I reach for the wine.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's great that you have the insight that there's an emotion of depression there. So again, there's without psychoanalyzing you, that would be painful right now. You already know that there is an issue there, and you could again, if I have people that enjoy drinking, I don't personally drink, but I have friends that drink. If they like it, they enjoy it. More power to you. I don't give a fuck. I only see people and they put their hand up and like, no, this is I'm binge drinking and I'm suffering and it's hurting me on some mental or emotional level. That's when I come in. So for the lady who asked that question, if you're okay binge drinking, keep doing it. However, if it's a problem for you, like you said with the depression, then there's some stuff that probably needs to be released there. Otherwise, it's going to make you suffer on
But
some form of
we have to deal with the depression and the causes of depression to stop the drinking. It's not about the drink, is it? And same,
no.
Julie's asking a similar question as well. Why do I continue to drink when I really, really, really don't want to do this anymore? So there's an
Yeah.
cause for it. It's not because the wine tastes nice, is it?
No, it's what we call in psychology a secondary gain. Now, I don't suggest that anyone sits around saying, oh, I want to make myself a binge drinker and an addict. I don't suggest people do that. But on some unconscious level, there's always a payoff to everything we do. And the payoff might just be, I don't have to deal with the overwhelm. Oh, I could actually fucking breathe. I'm so a personality that I'm here the whole time, and this just allows me to unwind, and I don't have to be responsible in this moment. I don't have to face this sadness. I don't have to face this station in my life that I felt that I would have been somewhere else by this stage. There's many different reasons that people do it, but put it just dealing with the symptoms like an AA typically will do, or some other substitute of drinking, essentially just puts a band-aid on a bullet wound, which means you'll stop bleeding out for a little bit, but as long as that bullet's still lodged inside of you, it's going to turn septic, and it's going to hurt you, and maybe at some point it's going to kill you. So we have to remove that fucker, then stitch you up so you can go out there and make the rest of your life the best of your life. But every maladaptive and or bad behavior you do, it's just a symptom of something that's going on underneath. But once the stuff underneath, the deep rooted stuff is dealt with, and again, it's not about, oh, why your mum treated you this way or why your dad treated you this way. You might not ever even be aware of it consciously, but once in the kind of work I do, someone unconsciously can release it, it changes everything. And sometimes they're aware of what it is consciously, but most times they're not. But they have a shift or a change for the better.
Do some people lie to themselves?
Everyone, all the time.
Like these lockdown drinkers. Like they start drinking a little bit in lockdown and they don't think they've got a problem. They just think, oh no, I drink just a little bit too much, so I just need a little hand with this. Is that your typical client or not?
Yeah, again, typically, like I say, it's women that are high achievers. That if I interviewed or talked to any of their friends, they'd be like, she's got her shit together. Oh man, she looks immaculate. Everyone wants to be like her, like real powerful, strong woman, but holding up this facade, and she is, but holding up this facade behind closed doors. She's like, fucking hell, I can't even breathe. I'm so overwhelmed that everyone holds me here. I just need to breathe. I need to let go. And she'll reach for more alcohol to deal with the overwhelm or the stress or the perfectionist mindset. But what's the other thing I keep? The imposter mindset. Everyone thinks I'm this amazing woman, but I don't believe it. But the drinking helps me to delude myself so I never have to face reality.
Okay, let's get some more questions. We're running out of time now, so we're going to have to wrap up. So see if there's any more you want to answer.
Christine, I had hypnosis with Wakili yesterday and it was brilliant, but at the beginning I could feel my heart beating really hard. Yeah, that happened. There's no wrong way of experiencing hypnosis. If that's how you experienced it, that's how you experienced it.
It's not supposed to be relaxed though. This is, we go back to the point. Hypnosis isn't relaxation like a spa, is it? It's not a little treat. It's dealing with.
I know for me, and I know the kind of hypnosis you do is not designed to relax you. You may, as a benefit at the end, feel relaxed when things are resolved. That can happen. Nothing wrong with that. But however, most of the process is an active process. I tell my clients, this is not a passive process where you're going to close your eyes, although we all wish this, and you open your eyes 55 minutes later and you've done nothing, but suddenly all your problems are gone. That's not how it works. It's about being active and it's about being in the movie as opposed to watching someone in the movie. It's about being on the roller coaster as opposed to watching someone on the roller coaster. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a bit like hiring a trainer because you want to lose weight and you expect the trainer to lift the weights and follow the diet. And then a month later, you're upset because you didn't drop a pound. And he says, well, did you do your cardio? Well, no, Mr. Trainer, I thought you would do it. Did you follow the diet? Well, no, Mr. Trainer, I thought you were going to eat that way. Did you lift the weights? Well, no, Mr. Trainer, I thought you were going to do it. You have to do the work, but it doesn't require years and years of work, but you have to do the stuff between your ears. That's what I help people to do.
But they're not just lying there listening to the hypnotist tell them nice things. We're not those sort of therapists, are we? That's suggestion therapy. You can get an app for that or an audio or free YouTube for that, right? That's not what we do.
Yeah, not at all. You're going to have to do all the work there. So I'm just reading a question by Amy. That sounds particularly counterproductive. If you say unconsciously we will be healed, and Wakida respectfully says accountability. How if it's the unconscious we don't have control of? Well, respectfully, Amy, you ain't controlling shit. Are you controlling your heartbeat right now consciously? When you take a meal, do you digest that meal? So when you take it in your body, all the digestive enzymes that need to secrete, so it comes out the other end?
No, accountability is, Luke, is someone has to go to the shop and buy it.
Yeah, you have to show up to the session. You have to book the session. You have to be open to do the work.
No, but the alcohol, they've got to be accountable for. If they're doing therapy to stop drinking alcohol, they have to have some sort of element of well, I'm not going to buy it anymore. My intention is I'm going to diet or I'm going to do this and I'm not going to drink. Is that correct? They don't just wake up and they're not a drinker anymore, are they? There has to be some work.
Yeah, the accountability is they book the call, they do the work, and they do the heavy lifting in between their ears. And they don't just like think, oh, Luke's going to say nice things to me, and then I'm never going to
Then I
reach for
won't
alcohol.
drink. Then I won't drink
Yeah,
alcohol. That's not it, is it?
not how it works. No, but what I say about unconscious, it's your unconscious that is going to heal you. But you have to know you've got a problem. Like it's that old trope. Oh, realize you've got a problem, and you fix it. Well, yeah, but most people wouldn't contact me if they didn't realize they had a problem. But also, again, they're active. It goes back to being an active participant. They're not expecting me to be on the roller coaster. They're not expecting me to be the actor. They're in their own movie. They're on their roller coaster. So they're accepting, and I never tell people what to do. It's not my job to tell anyone what to do, and quite frankly, most people, if you tell them what to do, they're not going to do it. But it's about them finding their own reasons for what they need to do. So I'm never in the business of giving people advice. Your best friend can do that, psychotherapist can do that, but you probably won't follow it. But it's about realizing you've got a problem, doing that healing inside, and then helping yourself to come up with the things that you need to do or not do anymore, in order for you to be healed and not have that particular ailment anymore. If that makes sense.
Do you give tasks and things to make them do stuff?
Yeah, like if I'll give my like I had a client today for a screening call, lovely lady, and she just I got off. I was on the call. I'm like, why is she even on the call? Like, she had a bunch of issues, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm biting my nails, or I was raped and I want to get over the trauma, or I've got chronic shoulder pain. It was just, I just feel purposeless in my life. So one of my goals to set her was essentially, before we even begin, before our session next Wednesday, write down a bunch of goals. Not how you know how you're going to achieve them, but like, she wants to be an artist. So write down, what's one of your goals? Well, I want to have an art show at Expo. You don't have to know how you're going to do it. Just put it on the list. But I'll give tasks to people for them to do, to start to shift things in their world, depending on what their problem is.
Okay.
And hers was, there was no concrete thing. So she started to, the task was to do some concrete things of, here's a goal that I want to achieve.
Okay. So I think that's all of them. Most of them just asking about drinking too much and stuff that causes it. I think we've answered everything. Is there any more questions? Can you quickly type it in before we go?
Christine says, loved it, Luke and Wahida. Thank you. I'm not a drinker, but it was so interesting. Thank you, Christine. That was lovely. Julie, love this. Thank you. Do you do special offers? Well, given that you asked. So a thing that I do is I've got a program. It's free. It's called the Binge Drinking Unmasked. So I'll go on the page after this and I'll put a link to it. It's free. So what it is 10 videos. They're like hours and hours and hours of free content of kind of why we binge drink, how we binge drink, what are some of the beliefs around it, why traditional therapy or rehab hasn't worked. So there's 10 videos and they're all free, and all it will cost you is your email address. And I won't spam you. You'll just get those videos. So if you'd like a copy of that, I'll put the link underneath this video, or you could just put underneath this video, send me the link, and I'd be happy to do that. And then if you ever want to work with me, you would just book a screening call, which is free, which is an hour with me. Again, we have a chat on the telephone. I ask you a bunch of questions, find out where you are, and I'll be honest if I can help you or not. And if I can, we work together. And if I can't, no hard feelings. We part ways as friends, and I can put that link underneath the video as well. Brilliant.
Okay, thanks very much. Thanks so much for helping us today and talking about binge drinking. It's been really interesting. So Luke is in the group as well, so you can comment later if anyone does think of any questions or they're watching the replay. So a lot of people do watch on the replay. We've got 10 people here. We had 20 say they would watch it, but normally we get about 200 people will watch it out of the 350 or whatever in the group. So about 200 will watch it. So if anyone wants to ask Luke anything, they can ask a question there. He is in the group. He can answer any questions or get in touch with him as well. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much.
Awesome, guys. Thank you. Always believe.